So for this strategy, we're going to use a Bitcoin 5-minute chart, and we're only going to need 3 indicators. But before we get our indicators on our chart, I just want to switch the candlestick from Japanese to Heikin Ashi. So we have a Heikin Ashi candlestick set up on our chart, and we can see the price action is way smoother. We can easier identify the direction of the trend, and this is actually an awesome indicator for beginners because they can better understand the price action. Okay, so for our first indicator, we're going to use an exponential moving average, EMA. And we're going to change the length from 9 to 200. We're also going to make it more visible. And there we go. For our next indicator, we're going to use an RSI indicator, Relative Strength Index. And we're going to have to adjust this indicator. So we're going to get rid of this RSI based MA, all these Bollinger Bands, RSI upper band, the lower band, and the background. We're only going to leave this middle band, and we're going to make it more visible. And we're going to change the color of this second line. And for our third indicator, we're going to use a parabolic SAR. Okay, now we have all our indicators set up. Let's get into our entry rules. Okay, so the rule number 1 is we can only enter a long position if the price is sitting above the exponential moving average. And we can only enter a short position if the price action is below the 200 EMA. For our entry and exit signals, we're going to use this parabolic SAR indicator. So whenever we see these dots shift over, this is going to be a new signal. So if the dots are above the price, this is a signal that we are in a bearish territory. If the dots are below the price, this means that we are in a bullish territory. Also, when entering a trade, we need to confirm the signal from our parabolic SAR indicator with our RSI indicator. So if we have a long signal from our parabolic SAR, but the line of our RSI indicator is below this 50 line, we cannot take a long trade. So we wouldn't take this long position right here because we do not have a confirmation signal from our RSI indicator. The opposite works when entering short trades. We need to have our price below the moving average, a signal from our parabolic SAR indicator to go short, and a confirmation from our RSI indicator so that this line has to be below the 50 baseline. We would also consider a new signal if the price crosses and closes above or below the moving average, and the rest of our indicators confirming the signal. Just like it happened in this example right here, we see the price just crossed and closed below the moving average, the parabolic SAR is bearish, and the RSI line is below 50. So let me now give you an example of a short trade. So we see the price just crossed and closed below this moving average, and the rest of our indicators confirming the signal. So we're going to enter a short position right there, and we're going to set our stop loss at the recent swing high. So just there. For this system, we're not going to set our take profit targets. We're going to let our winners ride, and we're going to close the trade whenever we have a signal from our parabolic SAR indicator to close the trade, just like it happened right here. See the dots shifted over? So this would be an exit signal for our trade. Also, I want to mention that we're going to risk 2% of our account per each trade, and in this particular example we had 2.12 risk to reward ratio, which would have made us 4.2% profit. Okay, let me now give you an example of another short trade. We see that the parabolic SAR just shifted over and is giving us a signal to go short right here. We also see that the RSI is confirming a signal and the price is sitting below the 200 EMA. So we're going to take a short position right here, and we're going to set our stop loss at the recent swing high. So as we can see, our parabolic SAR gave us a signal to exit the trade right on that candlestick. And since we're risking 2% per each trade and our current risk to reward ratio is 1.18, we're going to have to multiply that 1.18 by 2, so our profit is 2.4%. Another example for a short trade would be right here. We see the price just crossed and closed below the EMA. and we have a signal from our parabolic SAR indicator to go short, but we do not have a confirmation from our RSI, so we would not take this trade. So you see how important it is to have an indicator like RSI. This way we can eliminate losses and make even more profits. Okay, let me now give you an example of a long trade. We see the parabolic SAR just shifted over and gave us a long signal right here. We also see the RSI line is above 50 and the price action is sitting above the 200 EMA. So we would have taken that long position right here and we would have set our stop loss at the recent swing low. So you can see that we would have closed that trade right at that candlestick right there when we had a signal from our parabolic SAR indicator to close the trade. So in this particular example, we had a winning trade of 5.67 risk to reward ratio. So in order to determine our profit, we need to multiply that value by 2. So that's going to be roughly 11% of profit, which is absolutely insane. 40 minutes later, we had another long signal right here from our parabolic SAR indicator. The rest of our indicators confirming the signal, so we would have taken a long position right here and we would have set our stop loss at the recent swing low. And we can see the parabolic SAR gave us a signal to exit the trade right here. And on this particular trade, we would have made 3% profit. So these examples show that if you can catch a really good trend that keeps going in your favor, you can make a ton of money. Okay, so now you know the trading rules. Let's test the system out for 100 times and I'm really excited to see those results. Okay, so we finally finished our backtesting and those 100 setups were found within 10 days. We started our account with £1,000 and we were risking 2% per each trade. We see our win rate is crazy good, it's sitting at 60%. We made 391.25% return on our account, which is absolutely blowing my mind. So you see the account took off right away. We didn't have any serious losing streaks at all. We probably had like 2 or 3 losses in a row. And just take a look at all these spikes. And these crazy spikes right here. So this basically means that we caught those trends and we were riding them until the end, until we had a signal from our parabolic SAR indicator to exit the trade. We made around 20% profit on one single trade, and let me actually show you that trade. Okay, check this out. We had a signal from our parabolic SAR to go long right there. We set our stop loss at the recent swing low. And there we go. Boom. The price kept moving in our favor until we actually hit this exit signal. So that's, what is it? 17.3 risk to reward ratio. That is absolutely crazy.